Hey everyone, so welcome to class number 3. This class is all about feathers and kind of colour mixing and that sort of stuff. So what I've done, I've actually drawn out some stuff again already, and I've drawn a few feathers and little cute birds. I've actually drawn, it's called a Common Green Magpie, which actually only this year I found out that they do, because I always loved like our normal traditional UK magpies, the black and white ones. But yeah, over in America, I think it's America or somewhere in the world, they have these really lovely like green common magpies. Just noticed my little girl in the corner there. And yeah, they're just beautiful, and so I thought it'd be really, really nice to kind of show you to how I do sort of feathers and yeah, different things. So I'll flip the camera as always, and I'll show you what I've drawn out first of all, and then we'll get started with what colours to use and all different things. Right, so here we go. So here's a picture, like I said, of the Common Green Magpie. Gorgeous, isn't it? Looks so lovely with all the sort of greens and the yellows and the really vibrant sort of like burgundy red almost colour like across this middle part there. So I have drawn my own little cute little magpie just there, just perched on a little twig I've decided, and a few feathers here so we can get started on today's lesson. But yeah, I thought it'd be easier to just kind of draw it all out a little bit, and then I've got a bit of a guide, as I said before. But yeah, how cute. So I'm using just literally an image off of Google as my reference to kind of get all the colours and depict it exactly as it is. So like I said before, you just choose whatever you want to choose. So I'm going to do things a bit different this week. I'm going to actually do the bird before I do the feathers, and I'm actually going to put some water down on the actual paper first, just to almost kind of prepare it. A lot of painters do this with their watercolour, just to sort of get it ready. So I'm only going to do it in the bits here just for a moment where I'm going to do the sort of red sort of colour will be on here. I'm going to start with this bit here. So you'll see when you wet it first, the paint just spreads so beautifully. Do you see? Barely need to even touch it, it gets on there. It's gorgeous. Leaving those little bits there because I actually shouldn't have really got those wet for those. They're like little white bits. That's fine. And then do the beak as well. That is my cheeky girl in the background. So this week as well, I'm going to be doing a little bit of layering. So he's also got a little sort of reddy orange bit around his eye. So I haven't wet that first, but I just thought I'd use the same colour here. Add a bit of orange in a bit. So while that's drying, I'm going to grab a green. And again, got another one that I've mixed up. This one, I might have to just change the green actually. I think it's a bit too green, if that makes sense. His is a bit more sort of yellowy green on the picture there, as you can see. So let me just mix up. I have to say as well, I'm really enjoying doing these classes, so I hope that you guys are really enjoying watching them as well, and kind of like getting some ideas on sort of like how to use watercolour paint to sort of like help you relax and just to sort of like have fun with, really. So there we go, I've got a greeny colour there, I might add a bit more yellow into it. Camera angles are ridiculous. Sort of almost need somebody like stood over me, I think, filming me. It'd be so much easier. This bit here as well. So what I'm doing first, I'm basically just going to get a basic layer of paint and the kind of the base of the colour that I want to go in each of the areas, and then we can start adding in all the detail afterwards. So there we are, got it all wet again. So I'm going to go and grab my green and I'll show you. See, so lovely how it just goes. I love doing it. Such a beautiful way to paint. So you don't have to be very neat with this, as I've said before, especially when this is your like first kind of layer of colour. You know, you're going to go back in, you're going to add some details, so if there's anything you want to change, anything you're not too like sure on, anything, you know, hasn't turned out the right colour, or if it's bled too much, that's totally fine. So just grabbing a bit more green now for this top area. See here, I've drawn it. He's got some little spiky hairs on top of his head there. Very cute little bird. Right, so we're just going to leave that at the moment to dry. And just for the minute, I'm just going to paint the tree part, and I'll be back. Right, so here we are. So I've painted the little branch that he's sitting on, and he's getting dry. It's always pretty quick when they dry. And what I'm going to do now, so when you do the watercolour the way that I've just done it, where you put the water on the page first, you don't have to put the water back onto the paint to put the next layer on. You just literally can get the paint as normal. So I'm going back in with the red now, and I'm going to start making the red look a little deeper, a little darker. And just as before in my other lessons, which I'll leave linked below, yeah, you just sort of like take the paintbrush and just go back over the parts that you already did. And like I said, we're just going to sort of make this look really pretty. So I'm going to leave those little sections in the middle again, because on the picture it shows that there was the sort of white sections on the feathers, which obviously I'm no longer going to have white because I forgot, which is fine. So it'll be a bit more on the greeny side. That's okay. All the feathers, like I said, will be sort of merging together. That's why I thought feathers would be a good one, because just in nature and just naturally, like, they're really lovely how they sort of sit on top of each other, and you know, they look really beautiful on you know, how they sort of appear just rested on each other. So like I said, I'm going to just do this bit here as well. If you wanted to, like, you know, you don't have to go back in, you don't have to do like the sort of second layer of paint. As I've said before, you know, it's down to you kind of what you want to do and stuff. This bit here is obviously a little wet still. Might have to wait a little bit longer because it's bleeding quite a bit. But that's fine. What we might do while that's waiting to dry out, let's do one of the feathers. Getting some water down on the paper, just ready to take up all that lovely paint that we're going to plonk onto it in a moment. So as you can see, I am leaving little gaps where the water section is, just so that once we come with the paint, it's not going to just blur and go everywhere. So, got that ready there. Do apologise for any noise again in the background. Miss Phoebe's been at school all week, so she's just loving being back home, playing with all the toys and the noise and everything like that. Got Arthur in bed though today, so right. So like I said, I just love like dabbing it. Like, you could just literally do this as your first layer, and then you've just got some colour in the feather. Looks okay. You know, once it dries, it will look good. But I'm gonna spread it all out just to the corners, and yeah, just kind of make sort of more like a real sort of base coat almost for the feather. I'm going to also run it along the middle part of the feather, so almost I don't even know what it's called, I suppose like the bone of the feather, and I'll run that along because they are also coloured a sort of greeny colour, so I'll make it a little more grey in a bit, but kind of got that on there. So while it's still a little wet, I want to give it a little bit of depth on the bony little part to it, the sort of wing type thing. So I'm just going in with a green, and I'm just gonna, it's a darker green, I'm just gonna sort of run it along here just gently, because I don't want it to spread too much, but I do want it to spread a little, so that you can kind of see where that little section is. Do you see how that looks? So once it's all dry, I'm going to go back and I'll add in a little bit more sort of grey colours and things like that and stuff, because as you can see over here, it's definitely more on the sort of darker grey type colour. So obviously we haven't quite got the right colour just yet, but like I said, we'll leave that one to sort of dry out. I think I might do one of the leaves that's, not leaves, one of the feathers that's next to it in the sort of red colour, so again we can kind of almost pretend that this is from the bird again. So I'm just going back in again to wet it as before. So with this one I did draw lots of little lines on here just to emphasise the detail. So like I say, we will go in at the end and do the detail. So I've got the red, and again, see, it's just so nice to just do your brush like up and down, you know, it's beautiful. That's one of the reasons as well why I like watercolour. It just always looks so beautiful on the paper. Don't know if you can hear that in the background, but like I said, noisy children. Hopefully you can just watch what I'm doing and enjoy the day. So I'm going to leave that one with a few gaps in it because I want to add a little bit more of the darker burgundy once it's dry. So I'm going to leave it for the moment, but I am going to just go in and do the same as I did before, where I just want to have a little bit more depth to the actual bony kind of middle section of the feather. So I've just taken a slightly darker, probably more purpley sort of colour, but that's fine. Just to sort of emphasise, like I said, I'll go back in there and I will do some sort of grey again, just to sort of emphasise the middle parts once it's dry. But I think my little guy down here is drying quite nicely, and look how cute it looks. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to emphasise around these little sections that, like I said, I forgot to keep white. So we've got that there, and then just here I'm going to emphasise a little bit more. And again, this is like before, like in our other lessons, this is all about just the detail and kind of the layering and getting all the bits that you want to get on there. So more than that. So we'll do the beak as well. See, he's coming along nicely. Our little cute magpie. So I'm just going to add in a little bit of detail just to these feathers at the end. So I'm just using my brush very, very lightly, just making sort of little strokey kind of patterns just in there as well, just to emphasise a bit of detail in the feather. I will, like I said, go back in and do like a sort of grey colour almost on the green areas. Just feel like it will make it look a little bit more like what the picture looks like. Yeah, like that. Looks good, I think. Always looks so different once you let things dry with watercolour as well, which I really, really enjoy. I think with this one I might actually, just for the moment, give this one another bit of a base coat, because it just looks a little on the white side, and I want it to be very vibrant and very green, just like the beautiful bird itself is. So there is a bit of black on the bird as well around his eye, which once things are getting a lot more dry, I will come back to. But he's taking shape really well. I'm really enjoying painting him actually. I wanted to this class as well, just talk about a little bit more why painting has really helped me, and it's kind of like really made me be a lot more mindful and in the moment, and that's massively helped with my anxiety. So I'll flip the camera around in a minute and we'll have a little chat while things are just waiting to dry. So as I said, flip the camera around onto me. Yeah, I thought that we could just have a little bit of a chat about why I use painting to help me you know, relax and kind of be a bit more mindful and a bit more in the moment. So I'm just going to turn the camera there so you can't see the TV screen, because I know that's always annoying if I'm watching a video myself. So painting for me, like just to give you like a little bit of a background, it's something I used to do as a kid all the time. Like I absolutely loved it. Like I used to love colouring, I used to love drawing, everything. And then I'm sure like all of you, basically you just sort of grow up, you're a teenager, you don't want to do any of the stuff you did as a kid because it's embarrassing, you know, it doesn't look cool, all that sort of stuff. And then as an adult you just forget all these things that you did that brought you joy. And you know, life comes along, you have all your bumps and you know, your knocks in the road, and yeah, you just kind of stop doing things for you basically. And then with me especially, like once I became a mum, it was literally just like I was just knocked further and further down that peg. And so basically, you know, I finally found painting again, which was so helpful, and I actually found it through my my postnatal depression CBT class that I joined up with, and it was all organised through Healthy Minds. They've been absolutely brilliant on my mental health journey, and like the help I'm getting is just invaluable and so brilliant. And yeah, one of the things they suggested was to just do something for you, and painting had always been something that I'd kind of felt a little guilty that I didn't do anymore. And I used to occasionally, like, you know, once or twice a year just get my sketchbook out and be like, oh, I'm going to paint, and then I'd just forget about it, and you know, I probably wouldn't even finish a painting. You know, that's how I used to be. And then through the class and the course of like doing my CBT and stuff, I just really realised that painting was something that really just brought me joy, and it really relaxed me, and it brought that stillness to my mind, and it just sort of like, you know, made me just be in the moment, which is something that I just never do. Like I'm always thinking like, what have I got to do next? What have I got to do with the kids? What have I got to do here? I'm sure most people can relate. But yeah, like it's almost like a release. So for me, when I know I can sit down and paint, I just feel so much joy. I feel so much happiness. And you know, I'm not going to lie, it does some days, you know, it's still a struggle to actually find the time to actually paint and sit down and do something for me, because always in the back of my mind I'm thinking, oh no, I could be doing, you know, 1,000,001 different things in my house. I could be doing 1,000,001 different things to do with like the kids, you know, there's numerous things. But for me, like making the time to actually sit down and do something for me and do something relaxing and do something that's going to take me away from all those thoughts and all those anxious thoughts and those intrusive thoughts that have plagued me, it's literally like something that I can create. And then when I see how beautiful it looks afterwards, you know, and that's not bigging up myself, that's just, I love like looking at watercolour painting, if it's my own, if it's anyone's, but when I see how lovely it looks, sorry, my hand was hurting then, it just really stimulates like, you know, a creative kind of thing in me and a really happy thing in me. So obviously it helps with my own toxins, it helps with all the sort of, you know, bits and bobs in my brain, and it kind of like, you know, just brings me to that present moment. And that's something that I really want for you guys. So, you know, if you're struggling, then like I've said before, like please get help, you know, do kind of like you know, the CBT courses, any therapy that you can get, that sort of stuff, you know, it massively helps. But yeah, this is why, you know, I've sort of brought these classes to you. You know, yes, it's a beginner class, you know, and that's for anyone that wants to do like watercolour and stuff, but it's also just to sort of like really get it in your mind that, you know, painting can help you. You know, if you've got struggles, if you've got issues, you know, it really can help you. Like what I want to do as well, like obviously painting's kind of my thing, and I've got my little art business and stuff that I'm hopefully gonna, you know, have as an amazing business and all the rest of it and stuff. But for me, I've just realised that sort of like doing things for myself that will help, you know, me and my mental health is almost like my #1 priority now. So I do a lot of journaling, I do a lot of like I said, painting, I do a lot of like scripting, and like scripting is just an amazing thing where basically you can almost like future like proof your life. So like with me, like just for instance, I recently got a new job, and one of the things I did, I sat down. It just came to me. I just felt like I wanted to sit down and I wanted to journal, kind of out something. So I literally scripted 3 months in the future, me in my new job, doing really well in my new job, like, you know, really flourishing and stuff like that. And this was before I actually got the sort of like the nod to say, yep, we're going to employ you, you know, you're the one we've chosen. And so it was almost like I predicted that I was going to have this job, and it just really helped. And so, you know, I am quite a spiritual person, so, you know, some of you are going to be thinking, what are you talking about? But for me, you know, there's something out there. I don't know if it's a god, I don't know if it's a goddess, I don't know what it is, but there's definitely some sort of spirit that guides me sometimes. And yeah, I definitely got guided to that job and got guided to like write down in my journal. And then even with this class that I'm doing for you guys, you know, you're here for a reason, you know, you're here listening to me. So hopefully what I have to share in my sort of journey and story and stuff is going to inspire you and kind of help you kickstart yourself on your own journey. But yeah, I thought, you know, I'd kind of pop on and just have a proper chat, because obviously, you know, we're doing the lessons, you know, you're learning a craft, you're learning sort of basic skills on, you know, how to do watercolour painting and stuff like that. And I've said all along, you know, nothing has to be perfect. You know, we're not here to like, you know, learn how to sell a product to like, you know, the masses. We're not here to like, you know, learn how to create the most amazing piece of artwork. We're here to just have fun. We're here to relax. You know, we're here to just kind of like take a moment out of our day and just sit down and relax for 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long it is. It's just something that I really want to emphasize. So yeah, I really hope that these classes are sort of like making you realise that, you know, you're allowed to take time for you. And yeah, so I really hope so. I'd love it if you in the comments sort of let me know if this has helped you in any way, you know, if there's anything else I can kind of like offer to sort of like help you on your journey. I'd really love to know. But anyway, let's get back to the painting class, which I'm sure you're all here for mainly. So yeah, we'll turn the camera around again and we'll crack on with our feathers and with our little beautiful magpie. So I am going in with a smaller brush now, which is here. Which number is this? Let's have a look. Number 1. And I'm going to use this. I've gone for a slightly darker green at the moment, and I'm going to use this just along the middle of the long feathers down the bird's tail. I'm not doing a very neat line, I'm literally just adding a bit more colour in to give it a bit more depth and just sort of make it pop a little. And then I'm also going to just almost sort of like outline the feather that's sitting on top, just to sort of show that there are 2 there and it doesn't all merge into one. So, as you can see, just there. Sort of added that on, and like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, mine's definitely not perfect here. It's just sort of like having fun and you know, like when you are really stressed, like for me, I've been doing loads of like deep breathing exercises and stuff, which is proven to like really help. But like I said, like painting, it just takes you totally out of that sort of mindset of like that, you know, there's a million and one things to do and like, you know, you're never going to get things done, and the overwhelm of life, basically, I like to always say. And yeah, so I hope that that's what I can kind of show you with my art class here, which I really hope. So I've just outlined a bit there as well, so I can do that side. There we are. So I'm liking that. And then again, I'm just going to use the same green. It's just literally directly from the palette, the green I'm using. So it's just on a sort of like forest green, darker sort of green colour, just to depict a little bit of the sort of detail and stuff. So I'm going to do a little bit along here as well, just to really emphasise the sort of feathers that we've got. So my brush isn't too wet. I've like deliberately made it not too wet, as I want to sort of almost have sort of like fluffy sort of feathers. Yeah, so we've got that sort of hopefully looking a little bit like feathers. Like I said, we're not doing perfect stuff here, we're just having fun, we're just, you know, enjoying the moment and stuff like that. So I'm going to try and make a black colour. I actually don't have a black, I need to get a black actually, I've realised. And yeah, I'm just going to mix it up to make a sort of black colour to use around the eye. And I can probably even use the black actually as the sort of grey colour, because you know, if you just use it quite lightly, then you can do that. So again, we're just going to go here. This is all about the sort of detail and kind of like the extra colours and things like that and stuff. So, you know, you can just paint over colours. If you're not happy with something, you know, you can just start again. You know, there's lots of different things that you can do with watercolour. It's such a beautiful medium to actually use. I feel lucky in a way that I sort of learned how to do this at school, and I have this, you know, in my repertoire of skills, basically, you know, and my sort of like go-to for relaxing, you know. So yeah, very lucky indeed, I feel. So my little guy's coming along. I don't know why, but I feel like my bird here is called Robbie. Super random. I'm always naming like things like my daughter's teddies and everything like that. But yes, this is my little magpie Robbie. So we're just going in. I just want to make this a little darker. I'll probably go in and do a few layers here just to make it really pop, because it's quite dark, obviously black. I'm just going in with his eye. So I have left the white bit in the middle of the eye because normally you have the little reflection. So I'm going to try and leave that in there rather than getting rid of that like I did on the other bit there. But there is a bit of black on here, so I'm going to just, like I said, come in with a bit of sort of detail on here just to sort of emphasise that these are the colour that is on there. But yeah, I am actually really enjoying painting this with you guys today, so I really hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And I hope that the bit where I, you know, chatted about sort of like the reason why I sort of paint wasn't, you know, too like airy fairy for you and sort of out there. I hope it genuinely helps you, and you know, painting becomes something that you can use as a way to relax yourself. And yeah, I've got lots of plans. Like at the moment, I'm actually got a few ideas and bits and bobs that I want to do with the actual art business itself. But I've got lots of ideas as well to sort of help people on their mental health journey. So I do hope that you can all stick around and keep following me. I'll leave all my links to all my social media and kind of bits and bobs and stuff all down below, so you can, like I said, kind of get an idea and not get an idea, like follow along if you are interested in anything that can help you. So I'm just going in along here, just adding in little bits of the grey. I'm not like going in and doing tons and tons. I don't want it to be like a real sort of grey green leaf. I want it to be more green, but just to add in little bits of detail that we've got sort of along there. I'm also going to just add it to that sort of like fluffy bit up here. So oh, there you go, you can still see me. So I'm just going to add little bits in just to, like I said, emphasise that it is a bird and these feathers are really, you know, fluffy and whistling in the wind type thing. But yeah, I really do hope that you're enjoying how I am creating things. So I'm going back in again with the black just to really make it pop. I'm going to add a bit of orange as well around the eye in a minute, because there's definitely a bit more sort of orange than red, but we're getting there. I'm loving it. I think he's looking quite cool, my little guy. Little Robbie the magpie. While I've got this grey colour, I'm actually going to pop up to the two feathers that we did before as well and show you sort of what I was going to be doing here. So like I said, we're going to go right from the sort of very pointy edge and just follow it all along. I'm not having like a really straight line. I just want to sort of emphasise that that's there. So we're going to do it again, like I said here. And again, it's not going to be massively straight. It's just going to really sort of like come along and sort of do some stuff there. And then we're going to go in here as well and get the sort of real feathery little bit there. And then with this one, I'm really going to add some detail here, so you can see like what the details of the, like not the detail, like the feather, you know, can look like sort of thing. So, you know, we don't ever have to make anything look really like exactly as it's supposed to. You know, like a painting is just an expression of somebody's idea. It's like, you know, something that you can just play around with, you can just enjoy. So definitely do that. You know, don't be getting stressed out. You know, if you are getting stressed out, just put your paint brushes down for a little bit, go and have like a cup of tea, you know, go and have a little relax, and then come back to it when you know you can just enjoy it and not over stress about it and not overthink it. Because that's definitely not what painting's for. So like I said, I'm just adding in some bits along here. So I'm doing a little bit on this one, but not as much detail on this one. I really want to sort of emphasise the sort of cracks in the feather here, rather than, you know, all of it. With this one as well, you can still see some of my pencil drawing marks, which is totally fine. I actually like the look of that. But yeah, you can, I hope, imagine that that's a feather that's popped out of this cute little bird there. But yes, we're getting there. I think today as well, I'll probably only show you these 2 feathers and Mr. Bird Guy, because I am at home with the 2 kids, and Arthur, I'm sure, will wake up soon, and Miss Phoebe will need me again in a minute. So I won't be able to do it all, but I will try and film it and speed it up so you can kind of see what I do. But obviously I won't be talking and stuff like that. So I'm still there with the grey at the moment, because I'm gonna, well, it's kind of like a blacky grey. Go in again and do a little bit on the beak, because it's a little bit sort of just underneath. Don't need much, just a little bit. I think it's more like a shade really. And then again, just making this again sort of pop and be really dark. So if you don't have a black, I usually mix up like a blue. I probably mix quite a few colours, but I usually mix up definitely a blue, definitely add a little bit of brown, and sometimes even a bit of a red, just to get, and a bit of a green as well, just to get a sort of black colour. It takes a little bit of time sometimes to actually mix up the black, but once you've got it, you know, it's not too bad. It does sometimes look a little grey, but if you just build it up the way I am, it ends up being black once it's all finished and dried and stuff. So you are totally fine to do that. You know, you don't have to go out specifically and think, oh god, I need a black, you know. Just have a little mix around with your paints, you know, you'll be fine. So yeah, I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying this. I'm going to just add a little bit of black, like this over under here. Like I said, it's more sort of grey, I'd say, rather than black really. I just want to emphasise that these bits of the feather are different shaped to these ones, and you know, sort of coming out in a different way. Yeah, I think our little magpie guy is coming along very nicely. I'm actually thinking at the moment, actually, you guys might be able to help me. I'm actually thinking of bringing out some sort of Christmas line. I'm not really sure what to do. Like, would you guys buy a Christmas line from me? You know, would you, I don't know, like maybe if I did a robin, who knows? Like, trying to think about different things that I could kind of do. I don't know. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. Just gonna emphasize this bit there again. Really enjoying doing this guy though. I think we're getting there. I am going in with an orange now to do the bird's feet and around the eye. So I have just got quite a mixed up sort of orangey colour, which is quite vibrant orange actually, especially on his little legs. So I'm just gonna go in and just hopefully like get the right orange, but I'll probably play around with this a little bit, maybe change it up a little bit, maybe make it darker. I'm not sure if this is maybe a bit too carrot orange, but we'll see. Like I said, it's all about just having a bit of fun. So I'm not at the moment doing completely everything here, with going right up to the edges and stuff like that. I'm just making sure that, you know, we have an emphasis on the colour. I'm going to just add a bit to the beak as well. I feel like it's got a bit of orange in the beak too. Sorry, I've got a number 5 brush here as well, by the way, if anyone's wondering. So bear with, a bit more red, as you can see here, into my orange, because I feel like it just needs a bit more red rather than, like I said, like the sort of real carrot coloured, what do you call it, orange that we used before. And I just want to sort of emphasize that it's, you know, got its little pointy little bit there, and on that one, and then I'm just sort of doing almost little lines along it, just to, like, you know, have it look a little similar to the actual bird itself. So we're just gonna add a little bit of red as well. Oh, sorry, camera angles are terrible. Around here. There we are. He's looking very nice. What do you reckon? Does it look anything at all like that one? A little bit. Quite liking it. But yeah, he's almost done, I'd say. I feel like I just want to add a little bit of yellow to the top of his head. So, not much, just a little bit. let's go. So he has a bit of yellow along this bit. Sort of made it almost like a greeny yellow, so I don't know if I've got the right colour here, but we'll see. Just going to sort of take it along here to sort of stretch it out almost. And then I'll just add some down here as well. He looks really cute, I think. Just want to add a little bit here as well. Yeah, I really hope you are enjoying today's little class and sort of doing him. I'm going to use some of that yellow actually and add that onto the leaf that I've done up here. I'll keep calling it a leaf, it's not a leaf, the feather. Just getting a bit more. See, if you wanted to, you could use a black to really sort of like give definition to that middle section, but I just think a sort of greyish colour is a little better. It doesn't look as severe. But yeah, so there we have it. Like I said, they're the two that I'm going to really talk to you about and like sort of show you with the feathers, and then I will just kind of paint the rest just for myself really. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. So that's it there. We've painted a little Common Green Magpie together, and as before, really would love it if you could join my little group. I've got a couple of people in my group, but nobody's really showed me any of their own creations yet, and I'd love to see some of your own creations, so please join that. And then yeah, I can kind of like have a little look and hopefully share like your lovely creations as well. But there's my little magpie done, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed today and your little magpie has turned out really brilliantly as well. But like I said, you know, it's more just the fact that you're here to have fun and relax and just enjoy the moment and just, you know, enjoy learning a new craft, enjoy having a bit of time for yourself. But thank you as before, and thank you again for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.